Good morning, grace and peace be unto you. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I'm Reverend Ellen Rasmussen, and it is my joy, my great joy, to be with you this morning on what we're celebrating in many churches across the globe, World Communion Sunday. And so I want to talk to you about World Communion Sunday and its impact on all of us. So why don't you come, learn, love, so that together we can make a difference. You know, one of the identities that I carry is that of mother, Grammy, daughter, sister, aunt, pastor, disciple. And I'm a she, her, hers disciple, a disciple of Christ, a disciple of Christ in the Wesleyan tradition. So very much grounded in the stories and the ministries of Jesus Christ that call me to recognize that Christ came for everyone, so that all may have life, and not just any kind of life, but abundant life. Now, the gift of communion, the sacrament of communion, the Eucharist, the Last Supper, the Lord's table, refer to this meal that we have from the Gospels during the Easter story, during the Passion Week, when Jesus gathered with his disciples, gathered with his friends, and invited them to come and eat. And at the table were friends full of love, a friend who was fearful and who committed betrayal. And yet Jesus invited everyone to the table. In the Methodist tradition, we acknowledge that it is Christ who does the inviting. And because it is Christ who does the inviting, those of us who are pastors, those of us who are presiding over communion, become a vehicle for the Spirit to work. And we are open to all who come to the table because it is Christ who does the inviting. And so today, on World Communion Sunday, there are people all over the world who are celebrating the table of grace, the sacrament of communion, the Eucharist. And I like to imagine that we're all at one big party, right? And when you're at a huge party, you may think, oh, there's a lot of little tables. And so there's a group over here and a group over here and a group over here. And then there's probably even some people standing over there. And so you may think like a wedding banquet or a feast with the food set up, and then everybody gets in a receiving line, or maybe they're even served at the table. And that's beautiful. That can be fun. That it can be a way to celebrate things. But I don't think that's quite what happens at the table of Jesus Christ when Jesus invites the poor, the tired, the sick, the hungry, the wealthy, the confident, the insecure, the employed and the unemployed, the abused and the abuser. When Christ invites everyone to the table, Christ is serious. Invites everybody to the table. And I like to imagine it that it's this table that keeps getting bigger and more chairs are put around the table. And so it's not that people who come later, we say, oh, you have to sit over here. We say, oh no, come on, we've got another chair. There's plenty of room. Come here. Sit right down and let's get to know each other. For when Jesus invites us to the table, and if you can imagine, whenever somebody comes to the table, Jesus is pulling up a chair and saying, sit here, sit next to me. And today, on World Communion Sunday, it's happening all over the world. Come here, sit next to me. Because as we gather for this table of grace, that's what I like to refer to it as, we are invited into a community. We are invited into the body of Christ, which is made up of people of all shapes, sizes, gifts, talents, and graces. Some people shy, some people extrovert, some people rich, some people poor, some people black, some Asian, some white, some beautifully mixed. We all come to the table, and Jesus is saying, come, 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 I want you all here. And at the table, there are no barriers. It's just seeing Jesus saying, come, sit next to me. Let me pour out my love for you. Let me pour out my grace. For he'll share bread, gluten-free, full wheat, tortillas, French rolls, challah bread, perhaps even. Nut. That our Jewish friends may feel they want to come to the table, but we celebrate our heritage in the gifts of Judaism. And so we come to the table, and Jesus gives thanks for the bread, breaks the bread, invites people to take, eat. This is my body that is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. This is my body. This is the life and love of Christ for you. Take the life and love of Christ and eat it. Right? Let it fill your entire being. And after the supper was over, they took a cup and gave thanks to God again, gave it to the disciples and said, drink from this, all of you. This is the blood of the new covenant, my life poured out for you. I want you to take my life, take the light that I offer, and let it be a part of you. Let it center into every cell of your being. Take what we've done together. Take what I've taught you. Embody it. And let the light and life and love of Christ reach every cell of your being. And as it reaches every cell of your being, may you experience healing. May you experience reconciliation. May you experience redemption. May you experience hope. May you experience whatever brings you to wholeness. I just get giddy thinking about how it all works on the World Communion Sunday. Now, I know there are Sundays and Saturdays and other days of the week where we're sharing the gift of communion all the time. But on this day, we are so focused on World Communion Sunday that we can imagine that wherever we are, there is somebody else sitting at this table that Jesus invited us to, saying, "Come, sit next to me." And there is healing and storytelling and laughter and joy and peace. Can you hear all the stories? Can you hear the laughter? Can you see the sheepish grins? Can you just imagine everyone there? No one excluded. There's room for each and every one. And we let go of all the barriers, all the isms, all the things that keep us apart. And we look out at each other and say, you're Jesus's friend too. Yep. And how did you meet? Yep. It is great to see you. Imagine all the beautiful dialogues where nobody's shuffling for privilege. Everyone has enough because all are welcome to the table. This table where Jesus prayed that we might be known by love, that we would be known for love for ourselves, but love for each other, love for community, that we would be open to the Holy Spirit poured out upon our lives, working in and through us, that together we create a new community of love, of justice, of hope, redeemed by Christ at work in the world. Can you imagine the breathing in and the breathing out and the transformation of feelings of loneliness, of fear, of uncertainty, of chaos, of confusion, being released and filled with the love and grace of Christ, who blesses the diversity at the table, who says, "I'm so grateful all of you have come to be, to learn, to experience together," smiling that at this table we can be so much more than we've ever thought possible, that we can learn to accept each other and to celebrate the diversity amongst us, to honor that there are gifts, talents, and graces within each and every one. Oh. I treasure what we experience on World Communion Sunday. I treasure the gifts of reconciliation, of redemption and hope, of grace and love and healing that we experience anytime we participate in the table of Jesus Christ, where we are invited to receive, where we are enfolded in the love and grace of Christ and empowered by the Holy Spirit to go and serve God, to be agents of justice, healing, and hope. Just imagine if we can do it in the acts of communion today, and we're all intentional about celebrating this. Imagine if Christians worldwide go out and embrace all of their neighbors, and we share the love and grace of Christ with each and every one, and we recognize the gifts, talents, and graces. We recognize that each and every one is special. Do you feel the waters of peace, the waters of love enfolding everybody? Do you feel that energy, the possibility of a new creation for everyone? I can feel it. And I hope you can too. Because together we can transform the world in love. Now, I want to share with you a special video that was put together by United Methodist Communications. And it is from a couple of years ago, but it shares a little bit about why this is a special Sunday offering in the United Methodist Church. And it shows the stories of hope that can happen when we all gather and we all celebrate the love and grace of Jesus Christ and the possibilities of what we can do together. So I invite you to listen and to watch. And I give thanks for all of you who stopped by this morning. And I hope and pray that you are able to experience God, the sacred and the holy, that no matter where you are, you know that the Creator of the universe has said to you, come, learn how much I love you, be healed, be empowered, change the world in love. So thank you for being with us this morning. We thank you for your generous support of the transformative ministries at Brown Deer United Methodist Church. God working in and through the people of Brown Deer UMC, collaborating and connecting with those beyond the walls, because it is together that we make a difference. It's together we transform the world in love. Together we are agents of justice, healing, and hope, builders of the beloved community. Thanks. Blessings for your day.
I want to thank the United Methodist Church. I believe your investment on education will not be in vain. I'm Dinkin Calbert. We're in Jalingo, Nigeria. I've been a United Methodist all through my life, and I graduated with a master's degree in environmental management. I grew up witnessing the degradation going within our environment. You know, you see erosion everywhere, you see pollution everywhere, and I saw the need to go and gain more knowledge to be able to tell people what it takes, you know, what they need to do to reduce the problems that are so predominant in our area. With Lisa, my mentor, we are in touch of environmental scholars. There are people that study in the health sector. There are people that are doing research even in the environment, and there are other people that are also concerned about poverty in other parts of the country. We want to develop a network of concerned activists who will develop a study on the environment for the church. By giving to United Methodist World Communion Sunday, it will empower me to be a solution provider to the people within my community and the church at large.